All right, are we ready for the next story?
Yeah.
I thought we had to change the pace.
What did you?
Actually, there's another story I'd like to share. This is actually a story that I wrote a while back. It's actually 10 pages out of what was a much longer story. This story is actually entitled Shijak. For those of you who aren't familiar with Korean, Shijak actually means begin. So it means Junbi, ready, Shijak, begin. These are terms from Taekwondo, of which I'm a second-degree black belt in. Ironic that my Taekwondo was actually the inspiration for this story. All right. Ready, broski?
Ready.
Let's do this.
All right. So then. The capacity crowd of the bleachers erupted into a deafening wave of cheers. I watched three figures that stood at the center of the taped-off arena. Two figures were dressed in white uniforms and protective gear of those who practice Taekwondo. The third figure was dressed in an orange suit with a blue badge, having yellow red lettering that read ISMAL 2165-2195, and wearing white tennis shoes on his feet. All this marked the man as a referee of the Interstellar Martial Arts League, or ISMA for short. The only way anyone could separate which participant was which was the color of their chest protector, one blue and one red. Several scoring judges sat on makeshift chairs at the northeastern and southwestern sections of the arena. At the northmost end of the arena was a table where three judges watched intently, two male and one female, in somber gray business suits. At the southwestern end of the arena, I and one other stood dressed in gray sweatsuits. I scratched my fully bearded chin in nervousness for the man wearing the blue chest protector. "You are nervous, Mr. Simon?" a French accented voice to my right said. The semi-raspy, middle-toned voice belonged to my master, Emile Moreau, originally from Haiti. The 45-year-old was the head of the Taekwondo school, eyeing the man with the blue chest protector attentively. Looking at the tanned and mustached Haitian, I noticed she nodded sheepishly. "I know you and your brother have been through much, but remember, you deserve that hope for a gold medal at the next Galactic Olympics here in Miami." "That still doesn't make this any easier, sir," I said, a slight tremble to my voice. Our conversation was cut short by commanding, "Jumbi!" from the referee. I and Master Emile turned to see my brother and the participant in red, a man who looked like he had an iron jaw, get into a walking stance. They bounced on their toes, their fists raised into a defensive position. The ref's left foot slid back, his right hand extended and blocked the two sparring participants. The referee slid back into a cat stance as he brought his palms to his chest. He said in a loud, commanding voice, "Shijak!" The referee took a step backwards and watched both participants closely. My brother Jared let fly with a quick roundhouse kick. The iron-jawed man slid out of the way of the kick, then came back with one of his own. My brother was faster as he V-stepped out of the way of the kick. Both men circled each other, looking for openings. Careful, little brother, I thought as I watched the match. I'd seen the man in the red chest protector, Adrien Rousseau, Rick Stewart's top student in action, and knew he was one of the very best. But for some reason, I found his angry glare particularly disturbing today. Rousseau tried to fake on my brother, but he didn't act on it. So Rousseau let fly with a push kick. My brother sidestepped it and launched a side kick that caught Rousseau right on his chest protector. Being in the awkward position he was, Rousseau lost his balance and tumbled backwards before landing on his pride. The crowd cheered, as did his master Emile and I. "Keep on," the ref said, bringing a halt to the match. The referee began counting. By the count of 8, Rousseau was back on his feet, looking slightly more agitated. I noted to myself how odd that was, mainly because I knew Rousseau was temperamental, but in those green eyes of his, I saw a fiery, out-of-control anger, as if he were about to explode. The ref moved back and said, "Get up!" Both men again bounced on their toes. They circled each other. Rousseau tried a roundhouse kick, while my brother dodged, only to receive a hard side kick that sent him staggering several steps back. "Jared!" I called out as Brousseau launched a jump. 360 hook kick at Jared's head. Somehow, at the last second, Jared slid away from the kick to the crowd's astonished gasps and cheers. Jared then moved back in and caught Brousseau in the head with a front hook kick. In accordance with Ismail rules, black belts in any martial arts were allowed to take headshots so long as they wore proper protective headgear. Had it not been for Brousseau's helmet, my brother would have shattered his skull as he sent him spinning, only to land face first on the ground. The man rolled into sitting position, his eyes suddenly blazing with anger, his nose bleeding. The man let out a feral growl and leapt to his feet. The referee saw the look of murder in Brousseau's eyes and said in a warning tone, "Mr. Adrian!" But the man let out a bellowing roar as he rushed Jared. Jared tried to dodge the attack, but ended up receiving a hard knee to his chest, to the crowd's horrified gasps. "Hey, that's illegal!" I protested. "Come on!" the ref said, halting the match. The ref pointed to Brousseau and snapped, "Come on, Jared!" "Penalty!" Brousseau snapped incredulously. "Mr. Adrian," the referee said, giving the man a warning glare. "Out of my way, you little piece of..." He screamed, as to everyone's disbelief, and grabbed the ref. The crowd let out horrified screams as Brousseau threw the man aside and rushed his dazed opponent. "Jared, sir!" Master Emile warned. "Oh, no, not good," I said as I rushed the man along with several referees. Jared managed to somersault out of the way as I and several men tackled Brousseau and found ourselves thrown off as we were rag dolls. I ended up crashing on my back, but quickly recovered enough to get to my feet. Adrien Brousseau grabbed a support for the tape fence and tore it off as he began swinging it like a weapon, a glazed feral look in his green eyes. I knew that look all too well, having taken a number of seminars on identifying this condition. Desperately, I searched my immediate area. Then I saw two people rush into the auditorium. One was a human female with dark blonde hair and cold gray eyes. The other was a humanoid reptile with a long tail, clawed hands and feet, and scaly blue skin. Both were wearing the red and gray uniforms that marked them as Galaxy Rangers, the law enforcement/military of the Galactic World Alliance. Strapped to their magnet belts, I noticed the glowing clubs I recognized as X-60 shock sticks. A ranger's best friend if things got hairy. I made a dash for the officers and grabbed a stick by the handle from the woman's belt. "Excuse me, need to borrow this. I promise I'll bring it back," I said hurriedly as I scampered back towards the situation, leaving two stunned rangers wondering what I was doing. The battle to control Brousseau was not going well, as another group of referees and a couple of security guards were thrown at Brousseau. One guard getting his arm broken in the effort. On seeing me rush in, Brousseau tried to side kick me. I swatted it aside with the middle block and switched the stick on as I pressed it to the man's ribs. Not even Brousseau's protective gear was a match for the stick as he received a jolt of several thousand volts to his body. The man let out a scream of agony and convulsively shook as he collapsed to the ground. I pulled the stick away and shut it off. "Hold him!" I called. The rest of the guards grabbed the struggling and roaring Brousseau as I looked in his glazed eyes. I nodded and said, "Get to the stretcher and strap him down. Looks like this guy's a slammer." I moved away from the man and walked over to my brother, who was being helped to his feet by Master Emile. "Jared, are you all right?" I said worriedly. He grimaced. "My ribs are a little sore, but nothing's broken," he said reassuringly. He then glared at Adrien Brousseau. "And what is that guy's problem?" "Adrien Brousseau is a slammer," I said in a candid tone. "Pardonnez-moi," Master Emile said, slipping into his native French. "A slammer, sir. As in someone hooked on slam," I answered. "What's slam?" my brother and our teacher asked. "It's a highly addictive steroid cocktail. Nasty stuff. It's designed to increase strength, speed, agility, and endurance. And has a nasty side effect," I explained. "Let me guess," Jared quipped. "Sends a person's aggression through the roof." I nodded. Ismail and all the other major sports organizations banned it in the mid-70s. Slam takes a physical and emotional toll on those who use it. By this point, the stretcher had arrived, along with several safety straps, which were used to tie the struggling man down. Then, out of the crowd, I noticed Rick Stewart dressed in his school's uniform, an angry look on his face. I noted the scowl that crossed Master Emil's face. It was well known among the other Taekwondo instructors that Rick Stewart and Emile Moreau had been, and still were, bitter rivals. But right now, I wasn't interested in their mutual enmity. I said, "Jared, just to be safe, have the medics take a look at those ribs." Jared tried to protest, but I cut him off. "Please do as your assistant coach says. Master Emile, you'll excuse me." My brother nodded his compliance. Master Emile's face frowned and puzzled. "Where are you taking Monsieur Simon?" "To have a talk with Master Stewart, then do a little snooping," I replied. I left before either of them could say anything. The 45-year-old man, who had a retro mode of graying brown hair and a thick, long mustache, was cussing and swearing up a storm. His eyes showed a man deeply troubled. "Excuse me, Master Stewart," I said. The man gave me a hostile glare. "What do you want? Come to gloat over what happens?" Texan snapped. I shook my head. "I assure you, sir, nothing of the sort. I'm speaking in my capacity as an Ismail officer. How long has he been acting this aggressive?" The grunt nod he gave me was his indication he believed my interest was genuine. "That's just it. Mr. Adrian was behaving normally when he arrived. Heck, he was excited about going against your brother and kicking his butt, but it wasn't this ornery until..." Stewart's brow furrowed as he thought over events prior to the match. I gave him the time he needed to collect his thoughts. His face paled as he remembered something. "Till a half hour after he put that German patch on his right arm. Guy said it was a way to prevent any muscles from getting pulled." "And what exactly did this vendor look like?" I asked in keen interest. Master Stewart shrugged. "60s, early 70s, white hair, pencil thin mustache, wearing a dark blue uniform of vendor. Oh, and there was a patch on the left pocket of the uniform that ran Travers. I think Travers." I closed my eyes and nodded as I mentally processed all the information I'd been given, my photographic memory burning the image into my brain. "I see. Thanks for the information, Master Stewart. I'll take it from here." I turned to leave. "Mr. Wendell!" Master Stewart snapped. I looked at the man as he took a long, deep breath before speaking. "Make no mistake, I don't like your master. We'll never be friends. But I can tell you I have a zero tolerance policy for drugging up. Access the information on my school's drug policy and you'll see." I nodded and said, "I believe you, sir. I honestly do." I turned to leave. An Ismail official walked to the stand and calmed a confused and muttering audience. I looked around the room and saw no sign of the Galaxy Rangers I borrowed the shock stick from. However, my eyes fell on a man in a blue vendor uniform who looked exactly like the man Master Stewart had mentioned. And he was talking to another uniformed Taekwondo student and holding a blue box in one hand while he pulled a package out of the open box in his free hand. I walked in the man's direction, determination written in my face. I wanted to have a talk with him, and nothing was going to stop me as I weaved my way through the crowd. I picked up my pace as I came closer. I called down from that. "Excuse me, sir?" That's what it is.
Well, I hope all of you enjoyed that little piece of sci-fi entertainment. And now, hold on just a minute, I'll just check my camera and then it'll be on to the next story.
We have to leave. Sorry, but it's been really fun.
No problem. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
What is the one you wrote called again?
Shijak.